What's up, guys? Welcome to my review of the PlayStation 5 and this big behemoth right here. First off the bat, you'll notice the PlayStation 5 is huge, really big. I mean, for comparison, I'm sitting right next to my mic. This is the PS5. It's bigger than my head. This thing is huge. Anyways, the PlayStation 5, I've had this thing for a year. This is the digital edition. You can get a version of it with a Blu-ray drive for $100, and that's a 4K Blu-ray drive. So that's a good option if you want it. But if you don't, the digital edition is great. One big note though, this thing has been hard to find. So towards the end of the video, I'll include some, tips on how to find them in restocks and retailers, and also how to not get scalped on the price, because sometimes it is kind of really high priced online and people are trying to resell these things at a very, very huge markup. So to be honest, it's just, you can find them at restocks if you're patient. If not, you can go find it on these, people who are on eBay who are reselling it. It's up to you, really. I don't blame either way. It's the economy, supply and demand. These things are in really big demand. So let's get right into the actual exterior of the unit, and I'll go through all the ports. Some of the specs, just to keep note, this is the AMD Zen 2 architecture. Basically, it has the AMD's, good architecture that's been really well delivered. And it has a GPU that has the equivalence of the RTX 2070 if you're a PC gamer. So great specs on it. And I'll go through two big features a little bit later as I'm taking you on a tour of the entire unit. But let's get right into it. Let's get into the system out on the exterior. This thing looks crazy. It looks like something PlayStation or Lamborghini would have designed. And it looks awesome. It's not like the Xbox where it has a square design. But let's take a look at the back, and I'll show you all the ports. So right up here, you'll see a hole, and that's for your stand. That you can see right there at the bottom, that black circle thing, that holds your PS5 up. So please use that if you're doing it horizontally or vertically, because it keeps it. USB-A ports, super speed, your Ethernet port right here, your HDMI 2.1, and your power. This is all ventilation, by the way, so give it enough space to breathe. That's the back side of it. Let's go right around to the front. And right away, you're greeted by this shape, and it's really weird and wild. But one thing is, I can't find where the power button is. Anyways, there's USB-A, USB-A port, USB-C, and here's the power button. You really can't see it. And I'm going to show you because I couldn't find it in the beginning. And right as you hit that button, it turns on. But you really can't find it, and I think that was a design choice, or maybe a mistake, I'm not sure. But I really love this blue that they came with. It's a really nice theme for the PlayStation. The controller, when you hit the PlayStation logo, turns on and connects Bluetooth, and it looks great. That blue is spectacular. I love it. But getting right into it, this thing looks crazy, looks amazing, puts out a lot of heat because it's a lot of powerful hardware. But overall, let's jump right into the controller. All right, guys, here's a PlayStation 5 controller. It's a redesign of previous generations, and it's really lightweight. Got the two analog sticks right here, and as you can see, it's really changed a little bit. So there's the headphone jack right here you can plug in. There's a mute button here, and then there's a PlayStation logo for your menu. There's a speaker built in right above that, and then there's a touchpad right here for you to navigate through menus. Settings and sharing buttons are right here, so it's built in for sharing. You got USB-C charging and two pressure-sensitive sets of triggers. Basically, these actually provide you feedback as you push back on it. The controllers are also sensitive to tilting, so you can control your character through that. But it's really cool. All right, let's jump into the UI. Now, as you can see here, this is the PlayStation 5's user interface. Really slick navigation with menus. Some people don't like it. I do. So here we go through the two services that are offered. There's PlayStation Plus, which allows you to play the back catalog of games as well, but it's the online service. So you have multiplayer and access to all these games, which are like free downloads. So the multiplayer component of this, as opposed to Xbox, is actually it's just only multiplayer. That's what PlayStation Plus is. Xbox is Game Pass, which is a combination. Now we are coming to PlayStation Now, which is the other part of the service, which you can buy separately. It actually allows you to stream and download and play across PC and other systems a whole catalog of games. So Game Pass Ultimate allows this to be combined, but you actually get the separate options in PlayStation. I like that too, so I can't complain about it. there's a big library of games that you can play. So it's really cool. And as you can see me navigating it, this looks really slick. I love the gamer cards that they're pulling up. And it looks overall sleek. Especially on a bigger TV, this will look really nice. So make sure you have a 4K TV. But overall, we have different options. Remote play, which you can connect to it with other PS5s and PC. And that's also using the app, PlayStation app. Please download that as well, because it helps you in the initial setup. You have all your standard apps and games that you can actually go through. They did stop selling movies on their store, so that's one thing. But you actually can have access to all the apps that they have. Let's jump into one of the games. It's Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. Basically, this is an update and add-on to PlayStation 4's version of Marvel Spider-Man. So this is Miles Morales, Peter Parker's buddy. I'm going to jump right in. And one of the big features of this is that it's actually loading pretty fast. Look at that. A few seconds, I was able to jump into a game. This is not preloaded or anything in memory. It was just there. So it's one of those things that allows you to jump right into gaming. And so what that is because of the hard drive they're using, it's an NVMe SSD, basically a faster hard drive. And so you can load in a lot of cool games and things in the background fast. So here's also some navigation through the UI. There's also a free game that's included with PlayStation 5. You can actually download this. It's called Astro's Playroom. If you want to get to know your PlayStation 5's controller, this is a good game to play. It's really good for kids too. Everybody will love it. It's Astro's Playroom, and let's get right into it. One big thing is you're going to see me switch back and forth between Spider-Man and Astro, and that's because of the switcher and how fast it's able to put you back into a game. One thing though, as opposed to Xbox, this does not have quick resume. So basically, if you are playing a game on the Xbox, you can jump right into another game and the level. Here you have to hit continue, as you can see. So that's kind of a different setting, but overall it's not too bad. Spider-Man looks great. As you can see, I'm swinging through the city. Graphics are slick. Everything looks clean. Look at that sunrise. This is the morning of it, and I really like the HDR and everything it's running in. Unfortunately, for my video, I don't have it recording in HDR because of my monitor, but when I hooked it up to my 4K TV, this thing looked fabulous, so I really enjoy it.
Be there soon. Should let Mom know I'll be late.
So at the bottom, you'll see a menu bar, and this is like a quick menu bar system. So basically, if you're in a game, you can pull this at the bottom, and it allows you to change settings on your output device, your controller, your mic, whatever you want to do. So it's like a quick feature with menu settings. Going through it, you have accessories such as a wireless controller. You can dive into the settings now. So you can go through all the settings here. It allows you to actually update the software of the controller by connecting to a USB-C, but that's something important you might want to do. Alright, quickly diving into the settings. If you can access it from the top with the gear symbol, you can adjust your HDR, and this is really important because you might want to actually connect this to a HDMI 2.1 or a different type of HDMI cable to your TV. Basically, if you have a higher end TV or one that's newer, you'll have an HDMI 2.1. It's compatible with all types of HDMI ports, but if you're trying to get the higher resolution, the HDMI 2.1 might be the best. So there's no real need to upgrade your TVs, but make sure you're in game mode and you're able to adjust HDR. Another thing I'm going to jump into is, because PlayStation has a new type of hardware, it actually has RTX in graphics, so you can actually change the graphics, and this is a lot like PC. So you can actually increase the fidelity from less frame rates but more higher graphical settings, or you can get a performance mode where you kind of have a blended. Honestly, in play, I didn't really notice much of a difference, but if you want to see the highest version of fidelity in Spider-Man and games like that, the frame rate might dip a little, but you'll have some beautiful graphics, especially on an HDR 4K TV. because 4K has gone mainstream around like 2016, a lot of people have 4K TVs. So it's a good idea to upgrade your TV to enjoy the graphics. But if you don't, you can see a lot of good benefits from it, especially from frame rate settings. Alright guys, thanks for checking out my review. But a couple of concluding thoughts on PS5 versus Xbox Series X or PC. It all comes down to games. If you like a game on the Xbox Series X, like Halo, Gears of War, your Forzas, and all the other cool games on that, go ahead. Xbox Series X is your best bet. If you want a PlayStation 5 for its games, Gran Turismo, Uncharted, God of War, that's your system. Honestly, each system has its strengths, pros, and cons, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to what games do you want to play and what features do you want. For me personally, I've gotten use out of all three systems, and that's including the PC, but they're all great systems and platforms. You can't go wrong with any of them. So just pick what you want. Also, as a bonus, I'm going to be adding another video going over the maintenance of your game systems. So your PS5 and your Xbox and your PC, they all get dusty after you've used them for a long time. I'm going to be including a video for that coming up in the future, but check out my other videos on my channel. Please like and subscribe if you get a chance. But thank you. Have a good one.